Hello, welcome to the Positive Mental Health Symposium. This is Matt Perlstein from eqforpeace.org. We are working with a number of different speakers trying to figure out how's the best way to become positive in our mental health. As you probably know, mental health is often negative. It's problems, it's issues we don't want to talk about. It's our stuff, it's our negative stuff, and then we were trying to get rid of that stuff and get back to where we were before, or back to normal and coping. And what we're trying to do here is to go even further than that, even more positive than that. We can go from our problems. We do have to deal with our problems. We do have to deal with our pain, and we can deal with our problems, and we can deal with our pain. That's a huge part of this whole thing. And by doing so, and by learning how to do so, we can be better. We can do better. We can go up and be positive, even because of our pain, which is pretty cool. So Mira, working with kids for a long time, really clear on how this works, has a real nice way of putting things, has a wonderful subject called empathy, which I run one of the biggest EQ groups in the world, and one of the most popular posts or threads we've ever had was, what do you think is the most important thing about emotional intelligence? Answer: empathy, by far. So Mira, talk to us about empathy.
Thank you, Matt. So I am a mindfulness and positivity coach, and when I was asked to choose about the topic, so I usually talk, from the perspective of mindfulness and positivity. But this time I thought, I've been learning about EI, emotional intelligence, and interacting with Matt has been really helpful in understanding more. And I'm also a healer. I practice polarity healing. So with that in mind, and also, empathy is big part of EI, which I'm really interested to know more about, and I'm learning. So I wanted to talk about empathy. It's just, it's the key. Empathy is the key to, how can I help someone who's going through, mental kind of, health issues or health concerns. So being empathetic is one of the key elements here. So here is the statistics on what is the key cause of mental health concerns. Most of the times we see that people are lonely. We are in a family, we are surrounded by people, and we go to work, we have colleagues, we have friends, but we are lonely. And it's said that the young adults are the most loneliest. They are the loneliest bunch. We think that it's the seniors, but the percentage of young adults who feel lonely is 56%. 56%.
Over half. Yikes.
So we have 61 here. It's saying 61% of young adults are lonely. And how do we deal with this? How do we deal with the loneliness? That everybody, we are connected. We all have social lives. We talk, we converse, we post. But still, it comes down to we feel unheard somewhere. So loneliness is the new epidemic. 60% of people who have been surveyed are known to be lonely. And I like this picture, and I put it because here we see two perspectives of being alone. One is solitude, which says I'm at peace when I'm alone. So probably, and the other is I don't like being alone. That's loneliness. We feel ignored. We feel we are not cared for. We feel isolated. We feel abandoned probably. That's loneliness. And the other word is aloneness. where you can feel complete. Sometimes we can feel complete when, even if we are alone and all by ourselves. So we'll arrive at that in a minute. So I felt that I should be talking about listening. That's just so important, and how to listen with a heart. So I would like to share here a little bit of my personal story. A few years back, I went through a near-death experience, and I was almost on the verge of, I was at the end of my life, and it was a miraculous medical recovery that I came back to life. And through that, it was very traumatizing. It was a physically painful situation that I was in for a couple of years, but at the same time it was a very, very spiritual journey for me. So we were talking of, I really felt, it's like the whole symposium today, it's like joining the dots. We were talking of so many beautiful things. Mariana was talking of the pause, we need the pauses. And then now we were talking of healing. We are talking of inner child healing and forgiving and letting go with Divya. So that was all a very important part of my journey. But what happened through the journey was, I realized I woke up to my purpose of being empathetic. I was in a lot of pain, but what I did was I chose to make my friend's day. I realizing how lonely I was, instead of having to deal with all of my emotions all by myself, I would pick up the phone and call up two people every day. And I would ask them how their day, I would not talk about my problems, but I would inquire how they are. And I would ask them if their day was good. And somewhere, my friends would say that it was a beautiful experience. You called up and I feel good. And, it's about uplifting others. Though I was not in a place where I could do much help to the people around me or my friends, I ensured that I was listening to those around me. If they needed to talk, if they needed to be heard, I was always there. So about listening, first is to overcome the stigma and normalize talking of mental health. That's just so important. All the more in India, I see that, Matt, that we have the stigma is still there. Talking or consulting a psychiatrist or a psychologist is still considered, kind of it's not very normal yet. But if someone talks about the words, depression or the challenges that they have, it's they are kind of labeled very easily. So to listen without the stigma, minus the stigma, observe the non-verbal cues. What we can do is, check with our friends, check with our family, check with the people around us, and check with them if they're okay. Sometimes they might not be talking, and that's also a sign. They would not be talking, and they would be off the social radar, and that's another sign to notice. Offer support or safe space to express. Listen with the intent to help. We are not wanting to advise, we are not wanting to tell them, we're not wanting to correct them on anything, but we are just listening to listen. And hashtag feel it to heal it, that really resonated with me, so I put it in there, Matt. So right. And avoid toxic positivity. I do talk of positivity and the power of positive intentions a lot, but at times it does translate into toxic positivity, which we do not want. We do not want to, we don't want people to ignore what they are feeling, but accept it, embrace it. And as Matt says it beautifully, hashtag feel it to heal it. It has to be expressed, it has to be felt. That's when it goes away and it goes out. So the golden rule and the platinum rule. So how do we listen? The golden rule is treat others the way you want to be treated. I like the platinum rule better. There's a spelling error. Treat others the way they want to be treated. You know, yes, we always think of how I would want it. Probably I would want some advice, but probably that's not what my friend wants. Probably that's not what they are seeking. So if they want to be heard, you know, let's be there to hear them out. If they want safe space, let's be that safe space. If they want to space out, sometimes that's what, you know, people want. They want to space out from everything. They want some alone time, and we should respect that too. I'm a storyteller, so I have a story here. The story is by Julia Donaldson. It's a children's story, Monkey Puzzle. The story is of a monkey, a little monkey, a baby monkey is in a forest. It's walking in a forest and it loses its mother. It's lost. It loses its mother and father. So it's going around in the jungle and it's wondering what to do. And it sees a beautiful butterfly. The butterfly comes along and says, okay, so I'll help you. I'll help you find your mom. Can you describe her for me? So the monkey says, yes, my mother, she lives on the tree. So the butterfly flies and it spots a bat on the tree. It comes back and tells the monkey, I found your mother. The monkey goes and it says, but that's not my mother, that's a bat. My mother doesn't fly, she walks. So the butterfly goes around, she finds a dog. She comes back to the monkey and says, I found your mother. The monkey says, that's not my mother. Okay, so the story goes on. She says, my mother is bigger than this. The monkey, the baby monkey says. So the butterfly says, all right. She finds an elephant and she says, I've got your mother. So the story goes on, and the monkey says, no, that's not my mother. That's not my mother. Finally, the monkey says, my mother looks like me. She's a little bigger. So that's when the butterfly floats around. She spots the mother monkey and she connects them both together. But what she says after this is the beautiful part. The butterfly says, I didn't know that the mother and the child are supposed to look alike, because my baby doesn't look like me. It looks like me when it grows up. So the caterpillar doesn't look like me at all. It's a caterpillar. So my take back from this was, we think people need, the butterfly had the intention to help. He had the intention to help, but we are conditioned by our experiences. We want to help people, we do want to listen, but we are conditioned by our experiences. We think what my experience is, that's it's going to be the same for somebody else. And that's where I feel there is the need to rewire, to step out from our experience, step out of the box and really listen with the intent of helping up, growing out of our experiences. And again, I feel being empathetic, listening, again, also it demands us to be sorted, clear within ourselves as well. When I'm sorted, I'm clear, I'm able to help somebody better. When I have, because otherwise I'm not processing it right. I'm listening, I'm understanding, but I'm processing it because of my experiences and the way I'm conditioned. So somewhere I feel that's where, us being mindful listeners is very, very important. Us being, mindful and aware of our own thoughts and how we are processing the information is also necessary to understand. So choose to connect. So loneliness is all about, we feel detached with the people around us. We feel disconnected with the people, with the objects around us. So what can we do about it? We can simply connect. This is what I practice when I feel low. As I was sharing, I pick up the phone and I call up two people. I make their day. And when we uplift others, we uplift ourselves as well. It's just the energy that comes back to us. You make somebody's day, and inevitably our day is made. We feel better about it. And we can connect to nature, we can connect to wholesome activities. It can be a person, it can be an activity that we are wholesomely engaged in. It could be a simple walk, it could be a mindful activity like engaging in some artwork, doodling, anything. But that's what's connecting with anything, connecting with my inner self, or connecting with an activity, connecting with people. That's what brings us out of it. So and my journey as a healer, I was talking about how I had my journey, and after that I realized that this is listening and being available for people has been a very, very important role that I've it's come to me. It's just come to me. Somewhere I developed a lot of intuition through all of that. And I would just know when somebody needed me. It was like my thoughts would go to a certain person who probably was unwell or needed that kind of energy, or they needed my prayers. So I would the message, it's like a message that would come to me, and I would think about that person. I would send love, I would send my prayers, send healing energies to them. And the more I felt that, the more I started doing it, the universe gives you more of it. So the more I was getting into this role, more people were getting connected to me who needed me. Sometimes I would go through an experience, or I would go through I would overcome a kind of traumatic experience, or a health challenge, and I see that somehow we are all connected with our energies, and somehow people who needed it are drawn to me. They would come to me the next day, or a week after that, and they would say, Meera, this is what we are going through. And now it's become much of a reality to me. I don't question it anymore because I see that that's how things work, and that's how the universe works. That when we are going in a direction, and when we are willing to, when we have the right intention, things somehow fall in place just like a pieces of puzzle, and they come together. And that's how I feel my journey also has been. Meeting Matt and Divya, it's been wonderful. So you know uh, that's about it. That's all I had to share today, Matt. Thank you so much.
Oh, you bet. That was great. Well, thank you. Thank you. I was just thinking about your last subject just before you were talking about it closing, was about opening your heart to connect. And it seems to me with the loneliness, like you were saying, that's those are some scary statistics. Wow, that's amazing. You're talking about over half the people are reporting themselves as lonely. That's not good. I don't know if that's worse or better than it was in the past. They probably didn't do surveys like that in the past, but it's a lot. That's a lot of people. So anyway, so what I'm still saying that, and I said this at the beginning, I'm gonna say it again, is it feels like to me is that the reason we don't open up is because we've been hurt, and we don't want to get hurt again, and we don't know how to deal with our hurt. So we have to protect ourselves from being hurt. People say to themselves, I can't take this, I can't handle it, I can go through that again, which is not, none of that's true. None of it's true, but it's not fun, but you can. It's not that I can't, it's that I won't. And that it's based on our pain from the past, and we don't know how to deal with our negative emotions. And so it keeps us closed off, it keeps us alone, it keeps us judging, it keeps us blaming, it keeps us away from people, it keeps us away from people, and to our own detriment. We're the ones who lose from that. We lose from that. We lose double because we keep the pain, and then we create more pain by staying alone, and it just doesn't work. So I'm saying that if we can learn how to deal with our negative emotions, it changes everything. What do you think?
Yes, yes, absolutely, Matt. That's right.
And it's
That's
not
where I,
easy. I mean, it's easy, but it's not, no, it's simple. It's simple, but it's not easy. It's
it's
very,
not
very
easy.
hard and painful sometimes,
Yes.
but
And as
super
I
important.
always say it, Matt, it's something that we need to, practice. Emotional intelligence, the more I'm learning about it, I feel the need to practice it more. And just like any habit, or just like the habit of journaling or waking up early, we practice it enough number of times. We need to practice it
Yeah.
enough number of times for it to become a part of our system. And self-reflection is self-awareness is that again, and emotional intelligence again. We need to be mindful, and we need to keep practicing it enough number of times, and then it becomes a part of our system. It becomes a
Yeah.
way of thought, a way of life.
So talk to me about, we've talked many times about journaling. You mentioned that a minute ago. I think that's one of the keys to self-reflection and self-awareness. Talk to me about what you journal about and how you do it. If you
I'm
don't
sorry,
mind.
Matt, I lost you there.
Journaling, talk to me about how you journal.
Okay. Right. I've been journaling since I was 15, 16 years old, Matt. And but the process of journaling has evolved, I would say. Initially I would just put on everything that happened, the activities. Then slowly it moved
Actions.
to journaling. Yes, it was all about the activities. What happened? Where did I go? What did I do? And
Hmm.
slowly it evolved into reflection. The reflection part
There
of
we go.
it came in. So what happened
What do
and
I
why
think
did it
about and
happen?
feel about what I did? Yep. Okay.
Right. The good parts and the bad parts, everything would go into journaling. And I think journaling has really helped me become the person that I am, because uh, you keep thinking of it through the day. When you're going through the day, you think of, okay, I'm going to journal this, I'm going to record this, and this is what the reflection, it's just like that, the practice part. When you practice journaling enough number of times, you do not wait for the pen and paper to reflect. You
Oh,
begin
oh,
reflecting the moment it is happening. So it becomes like so much a part of you that you're constantly reflecting and constantly processing things, and back and forth as they are happening. So I
mm.
feel it really helps us take the right decisions, take the mindful decisions, uh, as we keep doing it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, I like that. You said we can, if we get in the habit of journaling, we start self-reflecting even when we're not journaling all day
Yes,
long, and that is a beautiful thing because that's called mindfulness, right? It's being aware of of ourselves and what's happening inside, and changing it if it's not going well. We can change it right now in the moment, and that's wonderful. Well put. I never thought of it that way before. That's cool. So do you go back and read what you wrote very often?
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Matt. And the
Oh,
perspective changes so much. It surprises me that, when you were noting it down, it seemed to you like it was this, and this. But when you look at it, because Mariana was talking of the power of now, and the power of being in the moment, right? And so it's like that, because
mhm,
you evolve every moment, you grow out
mm,
of it, and when you look back, it's like you're looking at a younger you. So most often,
mm.
but it makes sense. I feel journaling has helped me. It's like joining the dots. And I really believe in the universe, and I believe that there is a why to everything that happens. And it's like pieces of puzzle fall in place and the picture emerges, or the dots are joined and the picture emerges. That's how I feel. When you reflect, you see that everything is connected,
Oh,
and the why always it comes out. right? Probably the challenges I face or whatever, you see the why at the end of it. So yes, that's a beautiful part, and I always arrive at the understanding that, okay, this and this and this is why it happened, right? So it
Yeah.
becomes a
Good evening.
Sorry.
Good evening. Here, Dr. Bimal is there. I have one question. Hi.
Go ahead.
Actually, bandwidth is a little bit low, so I've kept my camera off. My question is, daily we are writing the diary, what we are doing every day. So, are you calling that is journalism or something different?
Yes, that's journaling, Bimalji. Dr. Mipin, that's we are talking of journaling in terms of diary writing. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it can be either way. I mean, like Mira was saying, it's either could be what you were doing and what happened. Those are facts and actions and such. And what we're suggesting is that you go a little deeper and what were you thinking and feeling because of what happened. And then what I do is, all right, what's the conclusion? What am I going to take away from this, from what happened? Not only what was I thinking and feeling during, what do I want to take from this and think and feel in the future about what happened? Because I'm trying to sum things up for myself and make sense of things and figure out how to do me. So there's all kinds of things we can do: expression, self-reflection, information, all that. So thank you, Mira. Thank you. Good stuff. Empathy is a wonderful way to connect. We need to open up our heart a little bit and deal with our negative emotions so that we can connect and quit feeling so lonely. We can be alone without being lonely. And I think we need to find places. We have social media, but there's kind of what do we call it? Shallow. A lot of social media is real shallow, and we talk about mostly what's happening and just the happy stuff. There are some groups though that they don't talk about that stuff. They talk about the real stuff. What are you really feeling? What is really going on with you? And so look for some of those groups because they're out there. So again, thank you, Mira. Do you want to put something real quick in the chat or show on your screen about how to get a hold of you?
I'll put it in the chat, Matt. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, do it right now, please, because I got to stop this recording and start another one.
Thank you so much.
You would. Oh, you're welcome. So again, empathy is a wonderful, wonderful thing. That's one of the keys to connection. It's one of the keys to us having friends and staying in touch with our family and it's up to us. That loneliness thing, the problem that we have with feeling disconnected from people, chances are people are not going to come to us. We got to go to them. We got to reach out, and it's our responsibility. So it's on us. That's an emotional responsibility thing. If it's not going well, we got to change it. We can't necessarily depend on anybody else. So again, I need to stop and go on to the next. So thank you, Mira, again, and off we go.